The date is roughly 231 million years ago. Nobody would look at this animal and predict anything. He is small. He is outnumbered. In the valley he lives in, dinosaurs are a minority, perhaps one animal in 20. The large, dangerous, successful creatures around him belong to entirely different families. His name means Dawn Plunderer. Dawn, because he stands at the very beginning of the story we are about to tell. Because every dinosaur that has ever existed is either descended from this animal or from something very close to him. The long-necked giants, the armored tanks, the tyrant kings. Every single one of them traces back to something small and unremarkable, standing beside a river, eating whatever it can find. This is the story of his family, all 165 million years of it. And it does not end where you think it does. To understand why Eoraptor matters, you have to understand how badly the odds were stacked against him. Step out into his world. He is standing on Pangaea. Every continent on Earth is currently fused into one enormous landmass. There is no Atlantic Ocean. From where this animal is standing, you could walk to what will one day be Norway or Antarctica or China and never once cross open water. A landmass that big does violent things to weather. The coasts get rain. The deep interior gets almost nothing. The seasons swing hard, drenching storms on the margins, followed by long stretches of nothing at all. And here is the part that surprises everyone. The dinosaurs are not in charge. The animals that dominate this valley are archosaurs from the crocodile side of the family tree. Rauisuchians, 4 to 6 meters long, built like armored predators with skulls deeper and heavier than anything Eoraptor's relatives possess. Phytosaurs lie in the rivers, looking almost exactly like crocodiles, despite not being crocodiles at all. Our dinosaur is a footnote. He hunts insects and small reptiles. He eats plants when he has to, and he stays out of the way of everything bigger than him. But he is carrying something none of them have. And in that thin air, one group of animals had a better engine. Eoraptor's lineage developed a breathing system built around air sacs, with air flowing one way through the lungs in a continuous loop, rather than in and out like a bellows. It is the same system a bird uses today, which is why a goose can fly over the Himalayas at an altitude that would leave you unconscious on the floor. That is not a footnote. That may be the reason his family inherits the earth. But it is not enough on its own, not yet. He needs the competition to disappear. Then, around 201 million years ago, the planet tears itself open. Pangaea has been under strain for millions of years, and now it cracks. An enormous volcanic province erupts along the line where the Atlantic Ocean is trying to be born. The eruptions pump carbon dioxide and sulfur into the atmosphere on a scale that reorganizes the entire climate. The oceans acidify, temperatures swing. Ecosystems that have been stable for tens of millions of years come apart. This is the end Triassic extinction, and it is one of the 5 worst events in the history of life. And it is very selective about who it kills. The dinosaurs come through it, not because they were tougher, not because they were smarter, possibly because of that lung, possibly because of body size, possibly because of luck. This is still argued about, but when the dust settles, an entire planet's worth of large animal niches is standing empty. and the descendants of a small omnivore from Argentina walk out into it. Within a few million years, everything changes. Dinosaurs stop being a minority. They stop being small. In one geological blink, they go from the edges of the ecosystem to the center of it. And for the next 135 million years, no other group of land animals gets a look in. The door opened. His family walked through. Now the family tree explodes. Very early on, probably before Eoraptor himself, the dinosaurs split into two great branches, and the difference between them is in the hips. One group has hips arranged one way. We call them the lizard-hipped dinosaurs. The other group has hips arranged differently, and we call them the bird-hipped dinosaurs. Here is the joke that paleontology has been living with for a century. Birds did not come from the bird-hipped ones. They came from the lizard-hipped side. The names were assigned before anyone knew. Follow the bird-hipped branch, and you get the armored and the horned. Stegosaurus, with its double row of plates and spiked tail. Ankylosaurus, built like a living tank with a bony club on the end. Triceratops, with its 3 horns and enormous neck frill. And the hadrosaurs, the duck-billed animals that will eventually move in herds numbering in the thousands. Follow the lizard-hipped branch, and it splits again into the 2 lines that will define the age. One line runs toward the meat-eaters, small at first, fast, built on the same plan Eoraptor had, 2 legs and grasping hands. These are the theropods, and they will produce Allosaurus, Spinosaurus, Velociraptor, and Tyrannosaurus rex. The other line goes somewhere nobody would have predicted. It goes up. By the Jurassic, the neck has stretched, the body has thickened, the animal has dropped onto all 4 legs, and something extraordinary is walking through the conifer forests of North America. Diplodocus, 26 meters from nose to tail tip. Brachiosaurus, with front legs longer than its back legs, holding its head high above the canopy. Later, in South America, Argentinosaurus, possibly over 30 meters long and weighing as much as 10 African elephants. These are the largest animals ever to walk on land. The second thing is the lung. That same air sac system Eoraptor carried across the Triassic desert is still there, and in these animals it has spread into the bones themselves. The lung made the giant. The family that could not compete with a crocodile relative is now producing the largest land animals in the history of the planet. The Cretaceous is the family at its widest. The continents have separated properly now, drifting into shapes you could almost pick out on a map. And separation does something powerful to evolution. The result is an explosion of new forms on every landmass. And in the early part of this period, something small happens that changes the color of the entire world. A flower opens. The first flowering plants are modest, easy to overlook among the ferns. Then they take over faster than almost anything in the history of life. Because a flower is a deal, an offer made to an animal. Carry my pollen and I will feed you. That arrangement binds plants and insects together and reshapes every ecosystem on the planet. For the first time, Eoraptor's descendants are moving through a world with color in it. And the animals themselves are not what you were told. We now have direct fossil evidence of feathers across a wide range of dinosaurs, especially on the meat-eating branch. Not just simple fuzz, complex branching feathers, structures for insulation and display. In some species, we can even say something about color. One small feathered species has been reconstructed as ginger brown with a striped tail. Their behavior was not simple either. We have found nesting colonies with hundreds of nests in the same ground, used season after season, with juveniles preserved inside them at sizes showing they were fed after hatching. We have trackways where dozens of individuals move together in the same direction at the same speed. Herding, nesting, parental care, display. By 67 million years ago, the family that started with one small omnivore in Argentina is on every continent on Earth, including Antarctica. It ranges from animals the size of a chicken to animals the weight of a passenger jet. They have been the dominant land vertebrates for 135 million years, and they have about a year left. 66 million years ago, on an ordinary spring morning, an asteroid, roughly 10 to 15 kilometers wide, strikes the shallow sea near what is now the Yucatan Peninsula. It hits at around 20 kilometers per second, with the force of billions of nuclear weapons. It carves a crater more than 180 kilometers across. Molten rock is blasted into space and falls back across the entire planet, turning the sky into a broiler and igniting forests on continents thousands of kilometers from the impact. Then comes the dust. Billions of tons of it, thrown high enough to circle the globe and stay there. The sky goes dark. In many places, too dark for plants to photosynthesize. And when the plants die, everything dies. The great herds starve first. There is not enough left on a darkened, cooling planet to feed a 30-ton animal. The predators that hunted them follow. The oceans collapse from the top down as the plankton fail. Roughly 3 out of every 4 species on Earth are gone. Every branch of Eoraptor's family is wiped out. The armored ones, the horned ones, the duckbills, the tyrant kings, and the giants, the long-necked line that may have started with him. Every single one. 165 million years of history ends in what geologists see as a single instant. Almost. Because one twig on that enormous family tree does not die. Deep inside the meat-eating branch, among the small feathered animals that had been evolving lighter bones, better feathers, and stronger flight muscles for tens of millions of years, a handful of species make it through. They are small. They can hide. They can eat seeds, which survive in the soil when everything green above ground is gone. They need very little to live. They are birds. Not descendants of dinosaurs, not related to dinosaurs. Birds are dinosaurs, on the same branch, in the same family, an unbroken line running all the way back through the theropods, through the early meat-eaters, to something small and slender, standing beside a river in Argentina 231 million years ago. There are around 11,000 species of them alive right now. There is one outside your window. It has hollow bones threaded with air sacs. It has a one-way lung. It has feathers, 3-fingered hands folded into its wings, and it lays eggs in a nest and feeds its young. Every one of those features was already being assembled in the Triassic, in anything that would never fly. The pigeon on your windowsill is the last chapter of the same story that started with Eoraptor. So here is the shape of it. A small omnivore, 1 meter long, living at the margins of a world that belonged to somebody else. Not the strongest thing in his valley, not even close. Just an animal with an unusual set of lungs, waiting for a catastrophe he would never see. His family became the largest creatures that ever walked. They covered every continent. They ruled for 135 million years, which is a length of time so far beyond human history that the comparison stops working. Then they were erased in an afternoon. And one twig survived and became 11,000 species and is sitting in the tree outside right now. That is what the fossil record actually says. Not that dinosaurs were monsters, or that they failed, or that they belonged to a dead past. They were animals in ecosystems on a planet that kept changing underneath them, and their story never actually stopped. It is still running. You just have to look up.